I was muted. Lol. Sorry. Great start into the day. I thought I'd unmuted myself. Here we go, guys. Welcome. What I was saying was, yeah, Sock going for a cool level 3 creep route. This seems to be the norm on this map nowadays. And found some great items. It was a good early game for Sock. He's got the expansion up first, and the tech should also be pretty even Steven between the two. But 1-0 always was able to get his own expansion. It didn't get cancelled. It's going to be ready very soon. And seems like both can be pretty satisfied with this early game. This was surprisingly low casualties on the economy. No acolytes died, no haunted was cancelled. I think not even any peasants died. Just a few footies and ghouls. Six saves so far by 1-0, but at some point those units should go down. Love the early shop by Sock as well. He was not greedy. He didn't go for the tech first before the shop. He goes for the shop early and then he can heal up over there at the expansion. Very, very important. Keep summoning water elementals to deal with the ghouls, and the footies now attacking the acolytes. This also costs a bit of lumber. Gold, I mean. Indirectly, when the acolytes have to go off the lane. And this is pretty now annoying for the Lich. How is he going to defend against these footies without losing too much gold? The narrow tower by itself isn't really going to do it. And Sock, so far, playing a good game. He was able to minimize the losses very, very well. Hardly lost anything. Again, I think he didn't even lose a single peasant, which is outrageous, honestly. Against the Lich especially. Once the Lich level 3, he can get plenty of kills with the Frost Nova. There's oftentimes where we see the Lich pulling ahead in experience. But that's not the case yet. Both heroes on level 3.4. Really strong start so far by Sock, who already impressed yesterday when he defeated Lawliot in the quarterfinals with 2-0. And now Sock pushing into the main base. Wow, he got sick. Look at these Archmage items, dude. This is best in slot Archmage items. Absolutely amazing. Lich also has good items, but he had to buy them. Had to invest the gold at the marketplace. I love also that Sock's being active still with the footies. Once he knew his expansion was safe with the Archmage and the tower and stuff, he used the footman to be aggressive. He didn't get too many acolyte kills, but this is certainly gold lost for 1-0. Now it's daytime. Make use of the Merc Camp. We have the Mud Golem now, who's slow, can be very effective. Especially against the Lich. And the footies are still active, still causing trouble. Great game. Absolutely wonderful game so far for Sock. This is about as good as you can hope for. 51 supply. That's a bit unfortunate. If Todd is watching right now, I'm sure he won't be too happy about that. I think he's streaming himself, actually. Both heroes getting close to level 4. Very valuable for both first heroes here indeed. When it comes to straight up fight between the two armies. I think 1-0 will probably win it with the Lich level 3 with the level 2 Nova. So it's smart by Sok to split up the forces and minimize the effect of the AoE Nova. Super, super smart play by Sok. I am truly impressed. Another Ghoul goes down. Shadow Priest should also be falling. Archmage level 4 before the MK is even out. That is amazing. That's absolutely amazing. Mud Golem goes down. That's one concern now removed. And seems like 1-0 is finally dealing with his harass, stabilizing, and won't have to worry about too much anymore. But Sok has bought enough time. He's on the way to tier 3. MK is about to come out. And with the MK showing up also, there's going to be more opportunity for more kills. I'm sure that the marketplace is going to be a very relevant point of contention. Double Racks, double Slaughterhouse. Early Sanctum. Oh, interesting. That's something I haven't seen in quite some time. Normally you only need Sanctum if the undead is going Banshees. But also has the benefit, of course, that they're magic immune and they won't get Nova. I feel like actually it's kind of a cool mix if you have like 4 Knights and 3 Breakers, or maybe 5 Knights, 4 Breakers, you know? So also that the Frost Armor isn't too effective. However, we don't have Frost Armor here, so... okay, actually I'm not quite sure yet how I feel about the Breakers. Because Breakers, of course, while they are magic immune, have very low damage. That's the big benefit of the Knights. And as was to be expected, we are contesting over the marketplace. Normally this stage in the game, shortly before the Knights can come out, the undead has all the map control and the human has a really tough time keeping up. So it's quite valuable now for Sok to slow down the DKs creeping and ensure that the undead hero levels aren't too out of control. But you can see now, big difference on the second hero. Death Knight a full level ahead on the MK, which is not very unusual to see. But now come the Knights, now comes the Pally. Sok almost breaking into upkeep. Not quite yet though. Trying still to catch reinforcements. He's going to force another Dark Ritual. And diminishing the Fiend numbers here is also quite valuable. 1-0 already in upkeep, but no bag to speak of at all. Ideally, the Undeads want to finish the game early, go for a 70 supply push with Frenzy Ghouls, hit the expansion, break the second base for the human, and then win right then and there. The longer the game goes, with more supply and higher level heroes, normally the better it is for the human. Unless you're facing Happy, then, you know, all bets are off. Sok now also breaking into upkeep, and he's got a little bit of a supply lead already. 1-0 does at last get the camp. It's the Wand of Mana Steel, which is not bad at all. And Sok needs a bit more time to truly be ready. The human army can be very strong, but it needs a lot of supply. Unlike the undead army. The undead army does totally well in medium supply and low supply. Oh, Lich out of position! Could be getting surrounded here. Sneaky maneuver. Oh my god, that's so unlucky for 1-0. He was just attacking with a DK already. He was getting the Lich with a Dark Ranger, I think. Of course a risk, but normally, you know, you don't get caught here, especially during nighttime. That is very unfortunate for 1-0, and that could just be a game-losing mishap. With the next Fiend going down as well. That is so much time bought for Sok. He even brought the Militia in case he needed to fight. But with that little snipe, this game's basically over. Tavern Res. Oh my god, imagine if he gets Stormbolt surrounded again. That would have been bad. Cool thing about having the Sanctum now for Sok, you can also go into Priests. While healing is okay, and maybe even Inner Fire could be nice, I think it's really the Dispel which she should prioritize. Because the Dark Ranger with the Silence is going to be a concern against MK and Pally, and if you can Dispel that Silence, that would make the Dark Ranger basically useless. Sok also got the Invuln. Level 2 already on MK and Pally. This is absolutely terrific. Wonderful start into the day by Sok. This was... I don't know, did you guys see any mistakes this game? This looked pretty much perfect to my eyes. Knight save via the staff. And that is only the first staff. Staff now cooling down the shop. I'm sure we're going to see a second one, maybe even a third. if the game goes long enough. Militia arrive from the main base. Not much duration is left, but they will still be helping out a bit here. Eat a fat Nova. But that means the Nova doesn't land on the Knights. Still a big level advantage on the DK compared to the MK. Level 3 versus level 2 right here. But I would still say Sok is looking better now this game. He's getting stronger by the minute. The closer that he gets to 80 supply, the more devastating it's going to be, especially if he gets the levels still. Like I mentioned earlier, the great thing about this creep route in the early stages by Sok is you still have creeps left on your side. The Merc Camp is still there, the Murlocs are still there, the Natural is still there, and the 5th base, the Stalemate Breaker, is already taken by the human player. So while this opening build might not be the best for the early game safety, it is amazing for the late game. It puts you in a great late game setup. Where's the Archmage? To the left. Okay, a bit split away from the rest of the army. 1-0 trying to take a fight right now, while the human levels aren't out of control yet. Divine Shield and Invoke Potion, keeping the MK and Paladin respectively safe. More Holite coming in, more kills being found. Archmage also with the Orb of Fire can do a lot of reduced healing from the coil. Can be responsible for it anyways. But Sok now lost quite a bit, especially a lot of peasants. And 1-0 finding a decent trade again. Not the best position for Sok anymore, and he's out of mana. MK and Pally, no mana anymore. He needs clarities badly. And 1-0, you know, I thought with that Lich loss the game was lost already, but no, not the case. He's level 5 Lich now, and level 3 Nova is still crazy. And he is ahead in experience. Almost 1 level on every hero. Just the 3rd hero being even so far. And it's a problem that Sok here doesn't actually get to creep so much. It's very smart by 1-0 to keep the pressure on and just go play too passively. He needs to make sure he can prevent the human from creeping, because once MK and Pally get level 3, everything changes. Destroyer finally morphed. First one of the game, 16 minutes in, and the gyros show up right away. I don't think they actually have flag cannons, but since there's only one in the air, it doesn't really matter. And supply is still very even. A-bomb falls, but it was denied. It's a lot about mana now. MK in trouble as well. TP transfer. With that he survives. One more knight might be falling. Oh, nice. Holy Light. Last second save on the knight. But the camp still goes to 1-0. But look at the heroes for Sok. They're very, very close to the level up. Sok needs some healing though, needs a clarity. I would have loved to see a second shop at the main base. Not just the expansion. This could have been a big help for him in healing up again. I think he has one, right? Oh, he made a second shop. Really cool. Really smart at the main. That is very heads-up play. And something he can make great use of right now. Creeping the green camp could result in 1 level up, maybe even 2 level ups. MK gets 3. That's big. And Pally also very close now. 2.99. He's like 1 skelly. We don't have any super late game transitions yet. No mortar teams. No banshees. And I would say that favors the human. If there's no banshees, if there's no possession and stuff to be worrying about, if it's just fiends, the knights do very well against them, especially if they are well upgraded. Speaking of upgrades, those could look perhaps a little bit better. But now let's see what the next fight brings. MK getting silenced. Couldn't go for the clap. Dark Ranger now becoming helpful. Priest did use the dispel, but missed the dispel on the silence. Little mistake there. And there's the first clap. And that level 2 clap now can be a big help here in these late game fights where of course there's so much stuff to be hit with the AoE. And you can see the level 2 Holy Light right away. It is such a big help. But 1 breaker still falls. It's more experience for the DK. And that is level 4 Death Knight, level 2 Aura. And the Nova is still terrifyingly strong. Not too many knights left. This is still pretty even engagement, I would say. Heat Scroll committed there as well. DK now low mana. DK now no coils anymore. This is where Sok tries to turn the fight around when there's no healing left on the Death Knight. Maybe with Statue Rita there's going to be 1 more coil, but not too much anymore. Early deny on the A-bomb. I like that to get more mana back. Both players playing great. Playing really great. Wonderful start into the day. With only 1 big slip up so far. That being, of course, the Lich loss earlier. MK with a heal potion. Both players running out of mana. MK goes down! Where was the Holy Light? He wasn't silenced! Oh, enormous mistake by Sock. That is something you can't afford. And still chasing. Onto Blight without the MK. Sock. You gotta be careful there, buddy. MK back from the tavern. That was expensive. He has the double staff though, and that does help out with the knights. Behind this push, we see the expansion has come up, but not sure if it's going to be able to be protected. Sock now has a lot of income. Oh, both players with one crucial hero lost this game. Things now perhaps evened out. But again, Sock got the items, very important. He got the invuln and the heal scroll. Would love to see some disease cloud. That could be a big, big help for the A-bombs. Sock needs to make sure in the engagements to prioritize the dispel. He should probably turn off heal on the priest so that the priest's AI doesn't mess up. Turn off the priest heal until the first dispel comes in. Until the first silence comes in. Then dispel that, and then you can turn the heal on again if you want. I think that's why he has the one priest, just to get rid of the dispel, and that's smart. But he didn't do it perfectly yet. Sock now building a big army. More knights coming. More priests also coming. Still have a few gyros in the air. Of course, the threat for Undead in late game is always they can chain morph the destroyers, and suddenly there's 5 destroyers in the air. And if you don't have gyros ready, then you're going to be in trouble. Oh, big Nova. Forces a heal scroll right away. MK trying to get in position with the clap. There's one. Silence too late, by the way. Clap came out before the silence. Look at the A-bomb tanking very impressively. Will of course go down at some point, but it buys valuable time. Lich far forward, perhaps in trouble. Stormbolt finds him. There's a TP in case of surround. Doesn't need that yet. And the destroyer goes down. Destroyers are still a non-factor in this game. Second knight falls though. Sock again losing a few units. Would love to see gyro bombs as well. If you upgrade gyro bombs, you can attack the statues in the back. It doesn't do much damage, but it does a bit of damage. That makes things more hectic for the undead. Now 1-0 TP's out. I think this was a very favorable fight for 1-0. I think he took out 3 knights and a priest. Didn't lose much himself. But of course Sock has the third base. He's got so much income. Double invuln and a heal scroll. Would love again to see another shop, this time at the expansion. And the Northern Gold Mine, by the way, has already expired. That's right. The Northern Gold Mine doesn't have much gold in it at all. So Sock, in fact, had to expand. Crucial that he was able to do it. Archmage now close to 5, by the way. I think, like most of the time, I'm a big fan of level 3 Aura. But here, because there's no destroyers in the mix, I think level 3 Watch Elements would actually be better. We even have a few creeps still left on the map, the big camps in the south. I'll be close to some level ups. DK and Dark Ranger about halfway there to the next level. It's not very close with his Archmage, but not really anything else. 90 supply for 1-0. Very tanky now, this Death Knight. Tons of stats. Sock is behind by 10 supply. It is so many fiends. I feel like the issue is also that there's not enough upgrades on the knights. 2-1 only. That's pretty low. We saw a Tome of Retraining, by the way. Archmage now with Blizzard, which could do huge damage. 2 gyros wasted. It's a big attack. This could be the attack to win the game for 1-0. We have some slow now as well from sorceresses, can be very valuable. And in we go. Silence now, though, also very valuable to dispel, to interrupt the Archmage Blizzard, but it was dispelled. MK taking lots of damage. Clap Blizzard doing huge damage. You can see the damage on the AM rocketing up, close to 20,000 now. Oh, the Blizzard transition. I wasn't sure about it, but it's proving to be very effective. Absolutely wonderful Blizzard play. MK in front, though, definitely in trouble. Needs to be saved. And there's a staff. But the MK now out of the fight for a long time. A-bombs in the front, still tanking very, very well. Supply, pretty even, but another knight goes down. Big heal scroll, A-bomb falls as well. Level 4 pally, that should be the aura. And indeed it is. Sock falling back towards the towers. All of a sudden, the human army looking tiny. Lots of peasants also died. That's more skellies. That's more mana for the Lich. And Sock is waiting for the MK. How much longer until he's healed? It takes a while with the staff, of course. Wizard again. Cancelled with silence. Silence really proving to be super helpful here. Nice staff on the knight. That one was saved. Blizzard racking up the damage. Look at the Archmage. Already 23,000. Here's the MK again. Finally. The offensive powerhouse of the human rejoins the fight. First Stormbolt could lead to the next kill. But always great with the Dark Ritual. Getting mana back, denying the experience. And the MK is still far away from 4. There's an experience lead on the undead side, but also 1-0. He's under pressure. He has to get stuff done because his natural is running out much sooner than Sock's third base. Oh, look at the Fiends, all damaged. I shouldn't have doubted Sock. The Blizzard here proving to be very, very strong. 1-0 seems to have to do it with his heroes. He's almost at 6, 5, 4 levels. 1 or 2 more kills and he'll be there. Sock needs to be especially careful about his heroes. Cannot allow himself to lose the MK again. Make that mistake like he did earlier. Mana now, very low. Look at the Lich getting so much mana from the A-bomb. It's a giga mana potion when you eat an A-bomb. And A-bombs, if you think about it, only 240 gold. They're kind of cheap for how much HP they have. Oh, the knight actually getting saved by the priest. God damn. Sock again playing sick right here. Does he have another whole knight? He does. Archmage though. Oh my god, almost died. Last second with a heal pot. The nuke is crazy. And the DK is about to get level 5. He needs one more kill. One more kill for the level 5 Death Knight. Super sick game. It must be extremely stressful for Sock, but for us it's very entertaining. And again, waiting for the MK to come back. Still healing up in the main base. The staff saved him, but of course pinned him back in the main. Sick game. Really, really amazing. This is about as good as you can hope for in this matchup. This is... I am having a blast. I'm having fun, Neo. Are you having fun? One more Fiend falls. DK level 5. Yeah, look at the gold mine. 800 gold. It's about 1.5 minutes left of mining. 1-0. Needs to get stuff done, and he knows it. Bringing the ghouls. He's bringing everything. Destroyers now even morphed, hoping that there's not enough gyros for the counter. And I really don't know how many gyros there are. Stormbolt on the Lich, minimizing the damage from him as well. He's almost level 6. I think he should go Frost Armor if he gets level 6, which he should. MK again, lots of damage, but the level 2 Holy Light, man, what a help it is, what a blessing it is. Standing in the middle of the Blizzard though, 1-0, not kiting away, what's he doing? And the Knight saved. Last second with the staff. This DK has been so close to level 5 for so long. Gyros back in the mix. They do have flag cannons now. Not too many gyros left though. That's the double level up. Lich level 6, DK 5. It has to be Frost Armor. Is he gonna make the mistake? As happy and going for the ultimate? It would not be the right choice. Frost Armor here is needed. Nova again. Staffs. The triple staff, but now all staffs are on cooldown. Does 1-0 know it though? I don't think so. Stormbolt! Dodged with the Invul Potion. 1-0 not out of this yet. MK nuked and slowed and still in danger. Supply is still dead even. How is this even happening? Lich has so much mana. The nuke is still crazy. And now as the fights become very small scale, very skirmishy, this is where the Blizzard doesn't do so well anymore. If he takes out the destroyers, he would love to have Watchtower medals again, but the destroyers are still up in the air. And there's very little income. Very little income. And this is where the undead is super cost efficient. With very little income, just with the statues, he can still pose a big threat. Everything being unsummoned. My god, what a first map of the day. Dark Ritual level 3. It's also not bad. But seriously, Frost Armor would be better. Alright, to be fair, there's priests maybe to dispel Frost Armor. I didn't consider that before. Maybe because of that, Frost Armor would not be the perfect call. These priests have been wonderful, by the way, dispelling the silence so many times over. Big blizzard in the back. 1-0 has to kite. Knight falls. MK level 4. That's a big level up. Level 2 Stormbolt going for the ledge. Oh my god. Almost got the kill. Orb of Fire wasn't active, so the healing was still full. It's a level 3 coil that helps. It heals for a lot. Next Knight falls. Where are the staffs? Sock had 2 staffs ready. Knight still goes down, but also traded for a Fiend. Both players now dropping lower in supply, but of course 1-0 has no income left. Now it's enough gyros. They should be able to deal with the destroyers. Pretty sure staff is there again. And that's good experience. A lot of experience for the human. Would love to be level 5 Pally. How good that would be for the Holy Light. Especially on the MK. And I think Sock is doing it, finally. I was taking a lot of damage from their own Blizzard. That kind of hurts. But the destroyers are gone. That's the most important thing. And the staffs. How good are these staffs? Pally close to level 5. 1-0 has to go for the hero kill. He can't win this straight up anymore. DK getting nuked next. Mountain King exposed! The Holy Light was on cooldown because of the nuke! Suck! No! Oh no. No way. Huge mistake late game by Sock. And he doesn't have the money for the tavern res. It has to be the normal res. Oh my god. And 1-0 must realize that he can go for the altar. Oh, 6 save. Did you see that? He was baiting the Lich to try to get the kill on the priest, and then he went for the staff. So just went for the tavern res. Oh, one more staff is there. He sold an item to get the tavern res on the MK. Now the expansion is going down, and both players have no more income left. Holy hell, this is a crazy-ass game. Staff? Yeah. MK has it ready. Oh, but Sock has no clarities anymore. We have 5 statues. It's basically only heroes and statues for 1-0. Sock has the Brilliance Aura. And I think 1 priest survived for healing. MK close to 5. Double invul now. I think 1-0's got this game. At this point, the armies are not big enough anymore to just, you know, decide this through armies. It's about hero kills now. It's about hero kills, and here Undead has more mana and more invulns as well. Where's the dispel? Wait, the priest was also silenced. How was everything silenced? Dark Ranger hit a huge silence right there. It looks like Sock's bleeding out. The Blizzard is doing continual damage over time, but the statues are healing everything up again. There was a bit of mining, but now the mining is being destroyed. And with the Dark Ritual level 3, if he eats the skellies, he's getting so much mana back. And he saved the priest. Barely. Both staffs on cooldown. MK only has one, but MK is stuck in the base. Dark Ranger about to be level 5. 6-5-5 heroes. That is something that Sock can't compete with anymore. If he had level 5s of his own, it would be a different story. Level 5 MK, level 5 Pally, then maybe yes. But he's not quite there. So crucial earlier this game, in the mid-game, when 1-0 prevented the creeping. This was probably the game-winning move. Deciding to be aggressive and not allow the MK and Pally to creep too easily. This gave him a big experience lead throughout the whole game. And now in the end, the chickens are coming home to roost. It's just too much mana. 1-0 has endless mana. If the human has a huge army with tons of knights, tons of upgrades, he can steamroll over the undead army, even if it has much mana. But if in the end it only comes down to these heroes, like we see here, the levels are game deciding. expansion falls. Our first map of the day. Being a banger. Soccer scouting around, and he's trying to consider, can he still win with building elimination? He's got Blizzard. 1-0 sold lots of buildings to get the gold. Archmage. Archmage, what are you doing there, buddy? He's trying to get back the Mountain King, I see. At this point, it's obvious that Sok can't win a fight anymore, but maybe he can destroy the buildings. But 1-0 also saved one Acolyte, ready to set up a new building. He's going to do that right now. Haunted Gold Mine coming up. Sok's huddling in the back of the base. Going for the DK. That's the one vulnerable target. Oh, silence Coil Nova. Can't use the Divine Shield. Staff is there last second, but the AM. Oh my god, he's just melting. God, he's squishy. Great staff play. Somehow he's able to save the heroes, at least for now. But he knew 1-0 was coming to finish the job. GG is called. And it says happy. But it's actually 1-0. Also a world-class undead player. The #1 ranked ELO player in the world right now. And he's the defending champion, no less. 1-0. Looks relieved and proud of himself for good reason. That was a sick game. Absolutely top-level human versus undead. Both players with 2 mistakes, losing heroes. Well, 1-0 made it once with the Lich, and Sok made it twice, actually. First, he lost the MK very unnecessarily, and then in the late game, he used the Holy Light aggressively, which was a big mistake. And without that, perhaps he could have won. It's hard to tell, but for the most part, this was just excellently played. Really, truly wonderful. Super high-level Warcraft. Could have gone either way. In the end, 1-0 claims it. And yeah, still very impressive, though, by Sok. He did so many things so right, but it's so hard to always perfectly pay attention to your heroes and to make sure that they are safe when, of course, the undead has that scary hero kill weapon. I also like the build by Sok quite a lot. Just, what was it, like 2 or 3 breakers into priests to get the dispel against the silence, but he didn't micro the dispel perfectly. That's something he could still work on, plus protecting his heroes better. But that's basically it. Everything else was looking absolutely stellar. And same for 1-0. This is a meeting of the highest caliber between these two players. And if the games continue looking like this, we're in for a treat today. What about the Blizzard? Yeah, I think the Blizzard did pretty damn well, actually. I think it was the perfect time to retrain as well. When 1-0 was building this huge army, he was at 90 supply at some point, right? And then you're always guaranteed to hit a ton of targets with the Blizzard. The downside is, you then don't benefit from the Orb of Fire at all anymore. Maybe you should have given the Orb of Fire over to the MK. But it's not extremely likely that the MK will get to attack very often. I think he didn't have boots on the MK, right? So ideally, maybe put boots on the MK, put Orb of Fire on the MK. But it's not like he had endless resources, you know? Boots, expensive. But that was a great showcase, indeed, of this matchup and of this tournament. And we're going to jump into map 2 here in just a second. Just trying to look up where Sok placed the last times. Because 1-0 was able to win the last 2 TP leagues, which was very impressive. Sok got into the playoffs last time, but dropped out in the first round. in May. And in April, he got one round further, but then also was defeated by Moon. Whereas, of course, 1-0, like I said, won both April and May TP leagues. Very, very impressive. Trying to go for the hat-trick right now in June. And one of his biggest competitors was already forced into the lower bracket. Yesterday was happy being forced into the lowers in the game against Kaho in one of Kaho's first ever wins, I believe. Alright, let's now jump into the game. Tidehunters for our second map. Like I said, this is the best of 5, so the series certainly won't end here. But if Sok wants to keep a decent chance of winning here, he wants to get on the board now. Doesn't want to go down 0-2. So let's shouldn't go for the instant expansion. That's something we saw a lot of in the past, but rather going green into Expo, just like the Archmage, who again found great items. Gloves and claws. And once I get a fast level 3 again, I really appreciate this about Sok. I feel like many humans don't prioritize a fast level 3 enough in this matchup when it is so important against the ghouls. But the Lich somehow finds his way past the defensive line and gets a big Nova on the Peasants. It's going to be 2 kills at least, more likely 3. Oh, and Sok getting caught a bit off guard here. Oh, that's 3 kills just with the Lich. And the ghouls are yet to show up. You know, I was saying that I would love to see creeping by Sok to get a fast level 3, but you also have to scout when the Lich is coming in. You have to react to that as well. Maybe he didn't quite see that one coming. Oh, that is looking a bit rough already. Who's looking for more kills? The Lich is about to be level 3 already, isn't he? He needs 1 or 2 more peasant kills. Tower is cancelled, no arcane for a long time. Oh, and that's the thing about playing human on this top level against the top dogs. If you make 1 or 2 mistakes, if you slip in the defense a bit, you can get punished so quick. Big Nova again, takes out the footy. Lich level 3, Haunted is coming. Not gonna lie, this game is looking terrible for Sok already. And it's all because he let the Lich slip in. Because he didn't have the perfect scout for once. Huge punish. Huge punish by 1-0. In the end, the expansion is still coming. The expansion will still finish. But this was a painful start for Sok, make no mistake. Oh, Archmage though, perhaps with a window to get the cancel. This will be the way back into the game, but no, it's too late. It's too late, the Haunted is finishing right now. The damage not sufficient to kill it in the short window. The narrow position is pretty damn bad, honestly. This is a terrible narrow placement. But it's good enough because of the great early game and movement that we saw before by the Lich. Tier 2 begins for 1-0, just as Sok's expansion finishes. Sok might still be able to tech pretty closely behind the undead. And that's going to be very important. You don't want to fall too far behind the tech because you know the frenzy push will be coming and you have to be ready. Sok now trying to go for counter-attack. And of course the level 2 water elementals, this is still the truth, are still very good against the ghouls. But if you go for these attacks, it's also important to try to not feed too many footies away, because this is where the Lich can really start to gather experience, pick up some steam. If he gets a fast level 4, that means more Nova, that means more experience, and a fast level 5, possibly. On the first map, the level 5 wasn't too quick. Oh my god, Archmage almost dies! Almost at the perfect threshold there. I think he was at 2 HP. after the Nova. And look at the experience. That's of course also the thing about level 2 water elementals. While they are strong, they give plenty of XP. And this early game is looking much, much better for 120 AM. Is he really going to the middle? Well, it's just waiting right there. Needs to be cautious. 2 Novas and he's dead. And there we go. Fast level 4. Very early heal scroll by 120. Kind of surprising. Maybe to take it away mainly. Tier 2 finishes, and 120 can continue on to Tier 3 right away if he wants. Soccer's going for 2 more barracks, by the way. Ho! Oh, the Archmage dies from the staff. Yep, that's game. He was already behind. Can't afford to lose the Archmage again. And as close and epic as Game 1 was, Game 2 was rather one-sided. 120 is an absolute killer shape at the moment, and you can't afford to make mistakes against him. At least not big ones. With the Lich passing through, getting these peasant kills so easily, and the Ghoul follow-up. Getting more kills, getting the level 3. That is mistakes you can't afford to make. Sock, I hope he's not mentally broken. I think it was just a scouting mistake. He had a footy in the north who was trying to spot for the Lich making his way across. But he didn't actually see it, so I think he just got kind of blindsided by the Lich movement. I hope he can shrug this one off and continue to play his best on the next map, which is going to be Last Refuge, by the way. By the way, thank you for our supporters here. Hippo with the resub, Grumpy Dennis with the resub, and Max Welleth with the resub. Thank you, thank you. Second game after this one today is going to be Moon versus Kaho. I hope that we're going to have to wait for this one a bit longer. This could very well be an epic 5-map series, but now suddenly Sock is down 0-2 and he's staring down the barrel. Map 1 was as close and as epic as it gets. But Map 2, very different story. A sharp reminder for Sock that you must stay concentrated. You cannot slip against a 120 who is currently, like I said, #1 in the world, having surpassed Happy in the ELO rankings. And I don't know if you guys saw these stats before, but also in the recent encounters between our 2 players here, it has been looking a bit rough recently. Historically, it's a 67% win rate for 120, but more impressively, look at the recent results. The last 7 all went to 120. Just 1 win before that for Sock, and a couple more losses before. So 120 certainly has had Sock's number as of late. This matchup for a long time was a very rough one for Human, but things have gotten better. Things have improved, and Sock has proven before how good he can be in this matchup. Also from other humans, like Fortitude against Happy. We've seen new glimmers of hope, but it's about the performance in the end. You have to play your best. This is the TP League. This is the best competition in the world, and only the strongest will survive the crucible. And 120 has proven himself here already. Double champion the last 2 times. Would love to chase that hat trick this time. If he beats Sock today, he's going to be guaranteed top 3 already, along with at least 1 Night Elf. That's going to be Moon or Kaho, whom we'll be seeing later on. Alright, it seems like we have a bit of a bug with the third map. We may need a rehost. Last Refuge. A map that I always consider to be quite good for human. Might be the point where Sock can start to come back. Also a map where perhaps we don't see double fast expansion. On LR, it is also a map well suited for Lich aggression. So 1-0 has the choice here of which strat he wants to go for. I feel like Lich aggression might actually be better on LR rather than Lich expansion. That being said though, 1-0, unlike Happy, is not a player so accustomed to the Lich 1-base playstyle. It's going to be an interesting choice here that they're going to have to make. Alright, let me see if the game is having an issue right now. Yeah, seems like our Chinese streamers also haven't started the game yet. Ah, no, they have. Okay, they have. All right, game should be starting in just a little moment then. Oh, and indeed, it is. Here we go. Map number 3. Wait. The score says 2-1. That's a mistake, right? Yeah, 2-0. All right, there we go. Now we're all good. Alter position up in the north, looking very aggressive. Indeed, is looking like 1-0 doesn't want to go expansion this time, but rather Lich aggro. This is gonna throw a bit of a spanner in the works for Sock. I'm sure he would have loved to expand, but he might be forced to play one base only, which I think can also work. But the issue with that is you need to get the levels. You need a fast level 3 Archmage, and ideally a fast level 2 Archmage, excuse me. And ideally, quickly after, a fast level 3 Archmage. And that's the difficulty on this map. While it's great for mid-game and late-game creeping, it's very tough for early-game creeping for certain races. Especially Night Elf and Human. And that's also the reason why Lich 1 base is better on this map. First of all, you can harass the Human expansion well, being so close to it. Secondly, because the AM can't level so well early game, that means that the 1 base play works out better in your favor. Because of course, when it comes to just trading hits and fighting on level 1 with both heroes, Lich has the big advantage when it comes to getting kills with that Nova. It's going to be a lot about creeping this game. If Sock can get the levels, get tier 3, get triple hero, and get the level ups needed, and not lose too much in the process, this can still be a very playable 1 base game. Many humans still think that 1 base doesn't work against undead, but that is incorrect. 1 base doesn't work against Head Fiends, but it does work, or it can work at least, against a ghoul build. Nobody used to get a little creep. Maybe a little bit of a waste. But really wants to make sure that the Archmage has as tough a time to get to level 3 as possible. There again, 1-0 secures the last hit, gets the mantle. That's the perfect item. And there we see the Nova securing the kill. Lich taking some damage, Ghoul taking some damage, but this is where the Ritual Dagger is going to be immensely helpful. Oh, and a surround. Oh, that's a big deal. That's one of the only units Sock had at the start. No deny there either. Lich gonna have another Nova in just a second. The mantle here helping out a bit as well. And now healing with the Ritual Dagger. Great start by 1-0, and Sock not having the best of time here. Basset secured again. Oh, does he get the surround, the follow-up? Almost. Both heroes now, level 2. AM finally got it. What's the item? Wand of Illusion. Never bad. But I think at the moment he would have preferred the replenish. Oh. Literally close to the Nova. Very, very close to the Nova. Ooh, right click. Dude, that was 2 HP again. Ooh. And now, how do you heal? Well, with a shop, obviously. Arcane Vault is coming in power build. Oh, and the replenish. Oh my god, that is so amazing. Perfect item for the Lich right now. And he can also eat the Skelly after. Look at all that healing. Show the Lich. Show the Lich, baby. Oh, he didn't eat the Skelly, actually. Never mind. And while Sok is scared and just hanging back and healing, 1-0 keeps up the creeping. Map 1 he already was able to win with a hero level lead. And map 2 already also looking quite promising. But, oh right, that's the Pally second. The Sok special, I kind of forgot about this. Pally second and then MK third, and I think that's a really cool choice. The Holy Light scales better than the Stormbolt, actually. The Stormbolt, of course, still gets more damage with higher levels, but the stun duration is the same. It's 5-second stun on all levels against units, whereas the Holy Light effectiveness doubles. Very cool choice. Losing footies is fine. Losing rifles is not so fine. Unfortunate end snare. Oh, and there's the first rifle going down. There's level 3 on the Lich as well. Could be the next rifle falling. Oh god. First 2 rifles going down. The Pally wasn't quite there yet. Oh, Sok a bit over aggressive. Runs the rifle into the ensnare. Runs the risk and gets punished. That gave the Lich level 3. And the Archmage falls as well. Millisecond before the Holy Light. And GG has to be called. 1-0 absolutely in killer shape at the moment. Deadly. Critical. Very impressive. It was a 3-0. Unfortunately, map 2 and 3 kind of slipped out of Sok's hand.